Chicago is on the road to face the 10-3 Green Bay Packers.
Surprisingly, I'm going to take the Bears. I think the Bears are just as a team playing better than the Packers right now. The Packers aren't clicking on offense. There's some narrow misses. I don't expect those to just get fixed all of a sudden. And I think the Bears can line up and run the football down the middle of their offense against the Packers defense. I know Aaron Rodgers versus Mitchell Trubisky. I think Trubisky's playing much better and much more comfortable. I'm going to take the Bears with a big road win.
So the Bears didn't fool me last week against the Cowboys. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. I think it's hard to bet against Aaron Rodgers. And yes, they struggled a little bit on offense in the last couple of weeks, but it's hard for me to look at Aaron Rodgers and the things that he has done and the things that he can do against the Chicago Bears and not think that Mitchell Trubisky can outperform Aaron Rodgers. So that's why I am going with the Green Bay Packers.
It's interesting, though, with these two teams, given their history, you almost have to throw conventional wisdom out the window. You never know a key divisional matchup. The Patriots coming off a loss to the Chiefs. It drops New England to 10-3. Up next, the Cincinnati Bengals on the road.
Yeah, I would take New England. They're still one of the most dominant defenses in the NFL this year. That should be plenty against Cincinnati's offense. I'd expect that the Patriots will try and come run the football. Cincinnati doesn't have a very good run defense. And this might be something that starts to cultivate the identity for the Patriots offense, but I'll take New England.
When's the last time the Patriots lost three games in a row? They've never lost 3 games in a row. I'm going with the Patriots.
Ever.
I'm going with the Patriots. Look, they're playing a Cincinnati team that's struggling on offense. They have the best defense in the NFL. So Patriots are going to win this football game, and they're going to get back on track.
Get back on track. Again, the Patriots headed for the postseason. The question now is where they'll slide in, so they still have plenty to play for. The Seahawks travel across the country to face a Carolina Panthers team. Really, I got to tell you, it doesn't have much of an identity right now.
Yeah, I'm going with Seattle. I think that when you look at what they have and the weapons, it stinks that they lost one of their key pieces at running back in Penny. I think that was a good changeup that they had there at the running back position. I hate to see the guys go down, but that means somebody else is going to have to step up. And when you look at this team, they're built to win, and they're built to win right now.
Yeah, it's playoff football for them. It's December football for Pete Carroll and his football team. I'll take the Seahawks. They're still battling for the potential of the #1 seed, or at least the #2 seed. They're too good. They're too motivated. They have too good of leadership to go across the country and lose this football game against the Carolina team that's trying to figure out the last half of their season.
Well, and in notable Carolina news, Cam Newton had successful surgery on his foot earlier in the week. Will the real Houston Texans please stand up? We've seen 2 different teams given the week. Up next, the Tennessee Titans.
And because of that up and down performance, I'm going with the Tennessee Titans. They're on a roll right now. Ryan Tannehill's playing awesome. They have a great running game. Defense is stout, and they have Mike Vrabel motivating this whole team to play at an extra high level. So it's hard for me to go against Tennessee right now. They get the win.
I'm not caught up in last week's performance by the Texans. I just think they didn't show up. I think that Tannehill's playing great with confidence. The run game is so physically imposing. A.J. Brown's having a breakout month right now. And I think this defense could be opportunistic. I'll take the Titans because I think this defense could be opportunistic in their blitz package. Be a great ball game. I'll take the Titans.
No doubt Tannehill's playing well, and he seems to have that team buying in. And they have certainly been on a roll. The Miami Dolphins will need to break out the winter coats. They head north, Rob, to face the New York Giants.
Battle of the draft picks. Look, I'm going with the Giants here. I think that, we're going to get Manning back to 500. Miami's going to have to travel. It's going to be tough going up there. It might be a little chilly for them. They're not used to that cold weather. So I'm going with the Giants over Miami.
You've seen their quarterback's beard for the Dolphins?
Do you think he's primed for the
handle the cold weather?
It's grizzly.
He can handle the cold. I'm going to take the Dolphins. This team is playing with a belief. They're confident in their coach. I think Fitzy's got that. He's in a mode right now where he's a hot Fitzpatrick, and I think some of their playmakers on the outside can attack a Giants secondary that's struggling. I will take the Dolphins on the road.
Eli Manning, by the way, expected to get the start with a chance to get back to 500 since he fell 1 game below with the loss last week.
Get it back.
The Philadelphia Eagles in the mix for the NFC East, a division no one seems to want to win. They'll have to sort that out eventually. They face the Washington Redskins.
This is a good test, because you're going to have to play without Alshon Jeffrey, without Lane Johnson. I'm going to take the Eagles, though. I think that what they did the other night on Monday Night Football was like, oh, we can run the football, and we can play with 3 tight ends, and our quarterback can trust some of these young receivers around them. that defense has got to start playing better the way they're capable of, but I would take the Eagles.
I'm taking the Eagles in this game, but I agree with you. The defense has to play a little bit better. You can gain confidence in games like they just played against the Giants and some receiving core, guys that haven't played much. You can gain confidence in guys, but I think it's the defense that's going to have to step up for them. If they want to make any type of run, they have to step up on defense.
And everyone's talking about the Cowboys game. It doesn't matter if you don't take care of this game.
That's exactly right.
The focus for them.
Even though that's the case, those two teams, the Cowboys and the Eagles, tied atop the NFC East. It's possible the Broncos have found the answer at quarterback. We will see, but they face a tough test this week with the Chiefs.
Yeah, surprising how the Chiefs have gone about business the past month. I'm going to take them because their defense is playing so well. It's the turnovers. It's the confidence. You know, Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones have kind of believed that this could be the unit that carries their football team as Patrick Mahomes and this offense gets healthy. I would take the Chiefs at home.
I'm taking the Chiefs as well. You said it, the defense, they're playing a lot better, playing up front with continuity, and they're getting after the quarterback. Blitzing the quarterback last week against the Patriots. They got after Tom Brady a lot, affected him in the pocket. So I just think looking forward, that's going to be the difference between this year's Kansas City and last year's Kansas City, that defense.
It's so interesting. It wasn't so long ago when taking the Chiefs because of their defense would have been unheard of, but not the case the way they're playing right now. Tampa Bay takes its show on the road. They'll face a Lions team who really, Rob, has struggled.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions though. I feel like, look, they've lost the last 6 games, and you can't lose 7 in a row. They're playing a Tampa team at home, helps them a little bit, but look, I feel like the bad luck has hit that team hard this year. They don't have Matt Stafford, who was playing really well early in the season, is dealing with a back injury, and look, I think that at home, this is one of those character type games at home that you have to win this game. The Lions have to win for that coaching staff, for the culture, for everybody. This is
an emotional pick.
Yeah.
It's an emotional pick.
It is an emotional pick because I love Matty. I
love the Lions myself, but the Buccaneers, one of the more explosive pass games in the NFL versus a secondary that's really struggling. As long as Jameis doesn't turn the ball over a ton, they're going to go score.
That's a big as long if.
That's the story of 5 years, right?
Yeah.
But they'll score a ton of points. This is also a defense that should minimize an offense that doesn't have Marvin Jones anymore in their pass game with the backup quarterback. So I'll take Tampa on the road.
Well, and you're right, Matthew Stafford's still out with a broken back. No indication he'll be back this season. The Cleveland Browns trying to stay alive in an effort to make the postseason. They face the Arizona Cardinals.
I'm going with Arizona.
You go.
I'm going with Arizona. Are you going with Arizona?
No.
Okay, well then listen to what I have to say.
Why are you going with Arizona?
Chandler Jones, he's got 14 sacks on the season. He's going to be getting after the quarterback all day long, and I think Cleveland's got some ripples going through that organization, and I think we're seeing that right now at the end of the year.
I'm going to take the Browns. It's still in the playoff picture. Still something to play for, and I think that Jarvis Landry and Odell can have a really big day with some big plays down the field against the Cardinals secondary. For that reason, I'll take the Browns.
The Browns are 6-7, so they really do need this win if they're going to have any shot at all at the playoffs. Well, if future trivia question, the last team to face Oakland in the Coliseum, the answer will be the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And that's the reason why I'm taking the Raiders. If you take anyone but the Raiders, you're a bad person. Because this is the last game in Oakland. It's the last game in the Black Bowl, one of the more historic kind of franchises and venues in the history of the NFL. For that reason alone, for the emotional aspect of it, I'm going to take the Raiders.
All right, ready for this? It's a coin flip.
Oh.
I'm a bad person.
You are.
I'm going with Jacksonville in this game. I think it's a coin flip with these two teams. You know, they're not playing great football either side. So I just think that with that case, I flipped the coin. It said Jacksonville. Let's see if Minshew can do it.
Well, no more talk of sinking ships if you're John Gruden. At least that's the hope as they close out a very long history in Oakland. The Minnesota Vikings, that offense playing well, really hit its stride after September. They face the Chargers.
I'm going to take the Chargers. The Chargers are playing better than their record. If they don't turn the football over, they're a very difficult team to beat. Derwin James came back, and he looks really, really good. I think that Phillip Rivers can move the ball enough and then make enough red zone plays in their pass game. And that's a tough defense to play against if you're the Minnesota Vikings and not efficient. I'll take the Chargers.
I'm going with the Vikings, and you said turnovers. I think the Chargers have way too many turnovers, and that's why the Vikings win this football game. Dalvin Cook, they established run early, set up your play-action pass. That's what separates the win and loss from the Vikings.
A lot to play for if you're Minnesota. And I agree the Chargers are better than their record, which I would think is a very frustrating place to be.
For like 10 years.
The LA Rams are on the road. They play the Cowboys. Dallas has lost 3 in a row, Rob.
I'm going with the Rams. I think last week we saw a great Rams win. Offense was clicking. Defense looked a lot better than what they looked like when they were playing the Ravens. So I just think that they go and they get this victory. Look, Dallas, this game doesn't mean anything. They can lose this game. It doesn't matter. They still have control of their destiny. So I think that the Rams take control of this game and they understand how important it is to them.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams as well, partly because the game means a lot more to them than it does the Cowboys, partly because the Cowboys haven't beaten a team with a winning record this year.
No, they sure haven't.
And also just the transformation that Sean McVay is bringing to this offense, using 2 tight ends more than 3 receivers. I think that's allowing this offensive line and tight end help to protect Jared Goff. He's had 2 outstanding weeks throwing the football, and he'll get after this Cowboys secondary.
Well, and Todd Gurley seems to be back on track, which is what we talked about in the early part of the season when the Rams were struggling. So, again, Rams at Cowboys. Well, the Falcons, whose season really has been unexpected, I think, and not in a positive sense, they travel west to face San Francisco.
2 very similar teams. Like schematics, the teams are very similar. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers. Coming off the emotional win last week and the proving of their quarterback, they'll ride that emotional roller coaster. Their defensive line should dominate Atlanta's offensive line. Just dominate it, and I'll take the 49ers.
I agree with you. I'm going 49ers. Jimmy G is playing at an all-time level right now. Early in the season, we saw him coming back from an ACL. And I said, look, this might take a little bit of time. And now it looks like he's hitting his stride. The defense is playing great. And that road victory against New Orleans is a bonding moment. That team has come together. They're tighter. They're a closer unit, so they win this game.
Yeah, I feel like the days of folks saying Jimmy G's just hanging around, he's just not part of the problem, those are done. He's part of the solution. The Buffalo Bills on the road at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Since this is likely going to be a defensive matchup, we'll let the defensive guy here take this one first.
That gets me fired up. I love a defensive battle. I'm going with Buffalo. And, look, I think that when I watch that team give the Ravens trouble and the Patriots, battling with the Patriots, great offenses. Like, look, they're playing really well on defense. When I look at the Steelers offensively, what do their weapons look like? Is Juju back? Is Connor back? I don't know. They've been struggling to move the football. So when you take that into account, the Buffalo Bills, I think, are built better to win this game in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo as well. I don't think it's going to be as close of a football game as some people think. I understand the Steelers have an outstanding defense, but the Bills are playing good football. Their quarterback is making progress. They can run it. Their defense is outstanding. Josh Allen, all he has to do is hit 2 or 3 big plays downfield. He hasn't done that on a consistent basis. The opportunity will be there against the Steelers. They'll take some chances. He's going to hit them. I'll take the Buffalo Bills.
Both these 2 teams currently in the wild card spot, so plenty to play for both the Bills and the Steelers. The Indianapolis Colts still technically in the playoff mix, so it's a long shot. They face the New Orleans Saints, coming off that tough loss, by the way, to San Francisco.
I'm going to take the Saints. The Saints' offensive line got healthy. That should be a big key for them, both in Drew Brees distributing the football. Michael Thomas against either corner for the Colts. Neither of them are having a good season. Michael Thomas, the best receiver in football. Saints roll at home.
I got a better chance. I have a better chance of winning the lotto than the Colts making the playoffs. 3%, by the way. So I'm going with New Orleans. I think that, they come up short against the 49ers. They're going to be ready to go out there and just demolish whoever they play. So I think the Colts are underachieving this year, and it's going to be tough for them to go into New Orleans and beat that team who is fired up because they lost to the 49ers.
Fired up. And it's not as if the Saints did not play well against San Francisco. Both teams did. It just came down to the final out.